Welcome once again to Korea for the World Weightlifting Championships. 4 days to go, 7 titles still up for grabs, and tonight it's all about the men's 85 kilo championship, 187 pounds, 13 1/4 stone. We've got the Olympic champion, the Asian champion, the junior world champion, and some European medalists in contention here. And the class, well, just 15 kilos the difference between all of them based on the entry totals that they put in about 2 days before the championships began at the final entries meeting. The defending champion, well, that's a chap called Andrei Rybakov of Belarus, the winner of this particular championship for the past 2 seasons. Last time, 2007 in Chiang Mai, 2006 in Santo Domingo, but sadly, 2-3 weeks ago, hurt his back, not seriously, but sufficiently to rule him out of the World Championships, and so he's sadly not with us this evening, and that means that there will be a new name on the World Championship Roll of Honor. Well, China have been the dominant force, particularly in the men's division. So far, we've had 4 titles, and all 4 have gone to Chinese lifters. About a minute to go now to the first lift. And as you can see on the past Roll of Honor, famous names there like Pyros Dimas from Greece, and Kalanchiev, winner in 2003. He's gone up a weight class. You'll be seeing him tomorrow if you're able to join us. And the world records, well, the overall record 394, held actually by Andrei Rybakov of Belarus. He also holds the snatch world record, and Zhang Yong of China, the clean and jerk. We'll talk a little bit more about those if we get anywhere near those particular marks. Hernandez of Cuba was the man who set the early pace. This is him earlier today in the B group. And this is Yonis Hernandez from Cuba. 162 kilos on the bar in the snatch, 205 in the clean and jerk, to earn a total of 367 kilos. Cubans very well organised here, and that is the leading effort in the clubhouse, so to speak, so they've all got to pass that if they want to go for the medals. Well, alongside myself, David Goldstrom, as ever, Randy Strossen from Iron Mind. Good evening, Randy.
Hi, David. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Excellent. Looking forward to lifting. We're at kind of a turning point. We've got the last lifter from the Chinese men's team tonight.
Yes, and I guess everybody's wondering whether they're going to keep this roll going. They might well do, because Lu Yong is the man you're referring to, and he is the Olympic champion. He's also this season's national champion, and therefore clearly he's going to be respected.
He's really a long ball hitter, fully capable of knocking one out of the park here, but we'll talk a little bit more about what he's going to be up against tonight.
So here we go with tonight's competition, the A group, the medal final group, and we start with France. Benjamin Hennequin from Bordeaux, a man who's been close to medal honours. Last 3 European Championships, he's finished 4th on each occasion. Much stronger in the clean and jerk than he is in the snatch phase. Opening up on 160 kilos here.
Not what he wants to do. Up and down. Never got the bar high enough, never got himself under it. You'll see that the right side is not locking out. Let's watch this in slow motion. Probably not a big pop at mid-thigh position to finish off this lift. Starting fine there. Well, you know what? You take that back. He actually just plain didn't fix that. I think it was close, but no cigar. He didn't quite fix it. He did not lock the arms out and secure that bar overhead. Moved pretty well under it.
Yeah, but as we said, he's got to get a decent position in the first half of the competition to give himself a chance in the second part, where he is much more accomplished. But he's going to wait it out and come in again, I guess, and we move on now to the second man on the stage tonight. This is Mansurbek Shashimov, second in the Asian Championships earlier this season. And He totaled up 362, so he's going to have to go better than that to get past Hernandez, who won the B group competition earlier in the day. Well, did that just disappear out of his mind?
I don't know, but see, the bar did not cross his knees, so as long as he's got time on the clock, he would be allowed to come back and try it again, but no, that's it for him. I don't know if it's psyched out or if it's a physical thing, but the rule is if the bar doesn't hit the knee height, he could go and try again. You can see, boom, yeah, that's it. You know, and he might have actually gone that high just to make sure that he couldn't go back out.
Clock is continuing and counting down, so he's going to lose this lift.
Yep.
Sadly. And Enequin, coached by Romuald Ernaud, very much a sort of lone duo. They live out in Bonda. He's actually in the army, went into the army in April. And as I said, he's come close, but he's also had problems in some world championships, like in 2006, didn't manage to get a total. But his performance in the Olympic Games was promising. He was 6th there with a total of 367. So this is the man who the French think is on an upward curve.
Mm-hmm. He's looked very promising at Europeans, particularly, as you said, clean and jerk. Well, interesting, you know, heads off to the side again, left. I'm sorry, yeah, to the left side, just as on the first dip, but this time he gets it. Otherwise, I was going to say this lift was a carbon copy of the first one, except for the final result, which is what he wants, you know, a good lift.
I don't think it'll be a big increase for the third one, because he's sort of generally he's been around the 162 area,
right?
And I think he just needs to get a couple of extra kilos, and then he's going to need a little bit of luck on his side, to be honest, because when you consider that Liu Yong in the Olympic Games snatched 180 kilos, well, he's unlikely to be going for the gold medal. He's going to be hoping that he can maybe grab something in the clean and jerk, maybe grab an overall bronze.
Absolutely, you know, especially given the fact that he didn't stick his opener and also didn't really nail the second attempt. I think you're right, conservative increase for the third attempt.
Roman Khamashin from Russia, who actually doesn't live too far away from Korea, lives in a little town, and it is a little town called Arsenyev on the border with China and Russia. Pretty close to Vladivostok, but his town is a hell of a lot smaller than that. 161 kilos to get going.
Little adjustment to save that. Had to go to the side, had to walk forward. That's because the bar was a little bit out front. Not so extremely far out front that he couldn't save it by chasing the bar a little bit. Most important thing is he gets on the board.
Yeah, I was going to say, arguably a little scrappy, but it often is with the first attempt because there's nerves going around and you just want to get the first one in. He was 4th in the World Championships in 2007.
Yep, I mean, okay, here's walking forward to save the bar. You know, nerves is an interesting point because you think, well, shouldn't this almost be an exact science as far as nailing this opener? They've been training, they're lifting the same sorts of weights, they did their warm-ups. Well, you know what? When they come out here for the first time, they might have a case of nerves.
Just an interesting point there. When he puts the bar down, he's got to put it on the platform. It's got to stay on the platform. Were it to roll off the platform, then he could lose that lift.
It's got to be returned to the platform.
Got to be returned to the platform,
right.
Yeah.
But absolutely right about that. To be picture perfect, and if he did not return to the platform, the lift would be turned down.
Now, Garorik Pogosyan of Armenia, top 10 in Europe, but this is a man who often is not too bad in the first half, but his recent record in clean and jerk has not been that encouraging. Too many failures.
Interesting, pretty wide foot position when he starts. Hips look pretty high, which is not what a lot of people would do in the start for the snatch, but most important thing, he's got a good lift.
Goes into 3rd place behind the 2 B group lifters, Hernandez of Cuba and Valadares of Cuba, because of their lighter body weight. I did 164 in the Europeans, so every chance with 2 attempts he's going to go there and further. Now, Sergey Lagon for Belarus, who effectively is the stand-in for Andrei Rubikov, the world champion of the past 2 seasons and the Olympic silver medalist for Belarus. And that is the lead.
And that's also a smoothly executed lift. We've seen some successful, even if a little bit ragged snatches. This had that nice up and down quality, almost like a piston just going up and down straight line. Didn't have to dance all over the platform to chase this, wasn't adjusting in the bottom.
And the good thing that he's got going for him, apart from anything else, is the fact that he's light in the bodyweight division here. So that will help, because he's only 21 years of age. And so if they've got Rybakov, who, talking to Alexander Kulovic, he said the injury happened about 3 weeks ago, not too serious, and he expects that Rybakov will be up for the Europeans in Minsk next April. But think about it, if Rybakov's there, you know, double world champion, only lost the gold medal in the Olympic Games on bodyweight, and they've got this guy in the wings.
Right.
Strong hand to be double-handed in this category.
Yeah. Interesting point. Did lose only on bodyweight on the very last attempt of the contest, and the man who beat him is here tonight.
Yeah. Liu Yong trying to make it 5 out of 5 here for China.
Right. Yeah, he's been their heavy hitter for the last few years. I mean, he's not a guy who's been rotating in and out of the rotation. I mean, he's been in the lineup at all the big contests for them lately, last few years.
So Intigam Zairov for Azerbaijan from Baku, the capital of his country, runner-up in Europe this year. Another very good opener.
Yeah, starts with his feet a little closer together than some of the other lifters we've seen. Gets a little bit more extension that way, and then has to kick his feet out to the side to get down deep under the bar to be able to lock it out overhead. Smoothly executed lift.
Last couple of seasons, Randy, this guy's been doing sort of 166, 168. So this was a comfortable start. Interesting to see whether he might get a 170.
Yeah, which is he's in a very respectable range. Very nice lift.
Yeah, a little picture in the background there of this aircraft hangar. Well, it's not an aircraft hangar, but it feels like an aircraft hangar. Kintex International Centre, one of 5 massive exhibition halls here in Goyang, just outside Seoul. Now, Kuznetsov, Vladimir Kuznetsov of Kazakhstan.
Wow, that was sure nice and smooth, too. I mean, now we're hitting the guys who are just kind of nailing these weights.
Interesting story about him is that you might have expected to have seen Olympic champion Ilya Ilin, but the story goes about him about 2-3 weeks ago. He was, they were talking about it, and he said, well, I haven't had all my money from the Olympic Games. And there was a big argument that went on, and ultimately the president of Kazakhstan, Nazarbayev, turned around and said, pay him. And just to finish that little story about Ilya Ilin, so they paid him, and then he then announced that he wasn't feeling in good shape. So the coach said, well, if you're not feeling in good shape and you don't think you want to do it, we'll take you off the elite list and we'll cut your salary. So then there was another big argument that ensued, and the president, Nazarbayev, got involved and said, he's a national hero, give him his salary. So I guess we'll see him somewhere along the line, but it's been interesting in Kazakhstan because he is, on his day, one heck of a lifter.
Alexei told me he'll be back next year, so we'll see if they sort out the money and the lifter shows up.
Khamachin now, second attempt, 165 kilos. And of course, now we're past the B group, guys. So Khamachin with 161 as his first attempt. So 4 kilos for this second attempt.
Nope. I think just plain not enough height on this. Let's see. We'll see in slow motion. Has to fix it overhead. One continuous movement. Lock the arms out to secure the bar. That's one of the keys as far as this sport goes. It's continuous movement, nonstop. And in the snatch, you got to lock it out overhead. One movement, boom. Yeah, I think maybe just not quite enough elevation. That's why he couldn't, what we call fix it, lock the arms out. See the right arm just bending right away as the bar's overhead.
3 lifters entered totals of 380 or better. This is not one of them. This is Mr. Enequin, who entered 376, and this is his third and final attempt at 165. Now, I think this is very interesting that they've gone for 165, because they obviously feel that to get into this, he's got to actually pick up these kilos.
Well, they must think he can make the lift, too, right? Yeah, so some confidence here.
There's just so little margin for error on the snatch.
Absolutely right. Pretty much got to be in the pocket. Well, I got to tell you, that wasn't such a horrible looking attempt, although I don't know why, I've never noticed this before in him, this thing with the head going over to the left. I mean, I would think that must be directing the bar off center, too.
Yeah, that was not far away, Randy.
Yeah. Let's watch this. Boom. Nice pop left. Yeah, I mean, I do not think that looks so different from his other 2 attempts. So actually, the call, even though it seemed aggressive in terms of the 5 kilo increase and just the absolute amount of weight, 165 kilos, perfectly reasonable. You know what you said? You kind of said, well, maybe he's a guy of the future. This might be the case.
Kamachin out because he's got a repair job to do on 165. He actually lifted this weight 2 years ago, but that was 2 years ago. Today is today, and we haven't seen much of him since 2007. Did get a bronze medal, though, as a junior here in Korea back in 2005. So I suppose he could say Korea's been a happy hunting ground for him.
Yeah. Normally you don't get clocked like that, just to not quite get his head out of the way in time. Usually pretty much just getting grazed when you get hit. I think he got a little bit more than grazing action there when he met the bar. That's Coach David Riegert, famed weightlifter from the 1970s, representing Soviet Union. Here he comes. Pop. Nice second pull. That almost... should have been good. I think the bar is drifting a little bit to the back. Might have swung it a little bit here. Boom. Looks like he could be fixing it now. Losing it. Right arm's going, and that's when he gets hit trying to save this.
Yeah, it's a bit of a problem for him and Henneking because they're left on 161 and 160 respectively, and that's below the B group guys, and it means that pressure on them in the clean and jerk. Now, Pogosyan of Armenia, 166. So again, another man, just 4 kilos, but the second attempt is often the one where you put on the bigger increase.
Boy, very fast under the bar. And one of the keys in the snatch to be good is you got to move under that bar really fast because you're racing it. You're racing to get under that bar. You got the pull of gravity pulling the bar down. You've got to get your body under it so you can fix it overhead. Even in slow motion, I think we're going to see how quickly this guy's moving.
Still to start, Liu Yong, the Olympic champion, Tigran Martirosian.
Locks it, happy, he knows he's got it.
Tigran Martirosian, the older brother of the Martirosians, his younger brother, who was a bronze medalist also in the Olympic Games. And Shashimov, the man that we saw just not even get the bar above his knees, looks like Randy, he might actually have pulled out.
Yeah.
So Adrian Zielinski now to start his challenge, representing Poland. Competed in the World University Championships this year as a sort of warm-up.
It was interesting how he had to set his hand to get the hook grip. Probably a really fairly small hand. He has to use the other hand to push the thumb in to wrap his fingers around it. Boy, he stuck that. Hook grip. This is because you have to hang onto the bar so securely. Even if you have a strong normal grip, your fingers will grow up, will pull out, open up under the force of the pull. So you wrap your thumb around the bar, other 4 fingers around the thumb. He had to use his other hand to push his thumb in to wrap his fingers around. Pop! Nice lift. Really a nice lift.
And goes to the top of the leaderboard by a kilo over Pogosyan. But just to emphasize that Lu Yong and Martirosian, both Olympic medalists, yet to start. Sergey Lagon now for his second attempt. Now this is a 5 kilo increase. And remember, he's got this light body weight of 83.90 that he's coming at, and that could play to his advantage.
And that 5 kilo increase tells you they're confident. They liked what happened on that first attempt. Nice lift. You know, you could see him building up for this. He's kind of rocking back and forth. It's sort of like he's revving the engine. You could see it in his eyes. He's getting ready to flip the switch.
What's interesting for me is also, here's a man who's moving up. He was a 77 kilo lifter in the Olympic Games last season. Maybe this is going to be the category where he's really going to profit. Of course, you know, in the 90s, we had the days of Dimas and Huster, you know, who really were dominant forces. Since then, particularly in the 21st century, you know, it's been, you know, nobody's really put their mark down on it, you know, all the time. So this is a category which I think is generally a lot of countries look at and say, you know, we've got a chance here.
Yeah, and a lot of countries have a lot of people about this size, so they could conceivably be competitive in this.
So Pogosyan coming onto the stage now for his third attempt. Bar going to 168. And this again would be to recapture the top spot. Not quite there this time. 168 would have been a new mark for him. But as it is, leaves him down on 166 kilos. So the Olympic champion out with 170 kilos, looking for the lead straight away. This is a man who in the Olympic Games snatched 180 kilos, 214 for a total of 394. Only made 3 out of 6 lifts, but that was good enough to take the Olympic title. Just corrects well enough. And Lu Yong in the nationals this year, 173 kilos, 203, 376 his total, and has posted 385 as his target total for tonight. And as I said earlier, as you see this again, just holds in that bottom position, then drives up to complete the lift. 56 kilo title going to Long Qingquan of China, then the 62 title to Ding Yao taking the 69 kilo championship, and Lu with 2 world records in the 77 kilos. So a failure there on the second attempt for 170 for Zyrov, and he would have been in the lead there because he's lighter than Lu Yong. He's got one more go at it. And Martirosian, the only lifter at the moment yet to start his campaign, Tigran V. Martirosian, older of the brothers, the Olympic bronze medalist. So Kuznetsov, 5 kilo increase here, weighed in at 83.93. So this is for the lead as well. Walks forward, but that's okay. Kuznetsov, pretty common name in Kazakhstan, sort of equates to Smith, or since we're in Korea, the most common name in this part of the world is Kim. But that's good lifting, 165, 170. And again, another man who a couple of years ago was in the 77 kilo class, moving up to this 85 kilo championship, and underlining the strength both in the men's and the women's division in Kazakhstan. So Kuznetsov of Kazakhstan leading from Liu Yong of China, with Sergey Lagon I should say, of Belarus in the bronze medal position. And now Zyrov trying to join the party again. His third and final attempt. 84.53. So this would be for second place. Much better. Does the correction, stays down, and then drives up there. Should be 3 white lights, and it is. So just that one error, but corrected now, and it's very close. As I said right at the beginning, just 15 kilos separating the entry totals of tonight's 11 finalists. Make sure before he drives up, and the bar going to 171 kilos for Adrian Zielinski of Poland. Very good looking opening attempt. 6th in Europe this year, and was on 167 in Europe. That was his final effort in the European Championship, so now trying to go a whole lot further with a 4 kilo increase here. 171 for the outright lead. Former junior European and indeed junior world champion this season. Very good. Did 169 in taking the junior world title in Bucharest, when he actually also made 6 out of 6 lifts. So very confident, you would think, at the moment, and this is good news for Poland to have a talent like this. He's just 20 years of age, and that's very nice. Absolutely in the right place. So Zielinski of Poland leading, Kuznetsov of Kazakhstan, Intigam Zyrov of Azerbaijan in third, and Liu Yong at the moment out of the medal positions, and Lagun here in 5th place, also going for 171, and by body weight this would put him into the lead ahead of Zielinski. His last attempt, he's got 2 out of 2. Can he make it 3 out of 3? $20 seconds. Yes, he can. Very good indeed, and that's a great little series to open up his challenge. No mistakes. 3 very good lifts for the deputizing lifter from Belarus. Not Rybakov. Well, they could have put 2 in, but as it is, this man is really flying the flag really well. European Championships, of course, next season in April. You'll be able to see all of those on Eurosport from the Palace of Sport, big ice hall in the center of Minsk. So Belarus by body weight, leading Zielinski. Kuznetsov of Kazakhstan in the bronze medal position. Zyrov of Azerbaijan now out of the medals. Liu Yong on 170, and Martirosian coming in to join the action now. Martirosian at his very best, like in the Olympics, a 177 kilo man in terms of the snatch. World bronze medalist back in 2006 in Santo Domingo behind Andrei Rybakov. But the Olympics, his best total ever, 380 in Beijing last season. Younger brother already with a medal at these championships, the overall silver in the 77 kilo championship. Representing Armenia. 10 seconds, not a lot of time. 5, 4, 3. A little heart flutter for the coaches there, getting quite close. But 3 white lights, 172 kilos, takes him straight into top position. He's got 2 attempts left. Lu Yong, Olympic champion, with 2. Kuznetsov with 1, Zielinski with 1, and here you can see good explosive speed straight into the optimum position on his way. So 172 kilos here for Kuznetsov. Lighter body weight will take him into first place. Would have. Didn't really get the bar high enough there, and that leaves Kuznetsov just out of the medals in 4th place at the moment on 170, but there's only 2 kilos at the moment separating the first 6 lifters. So very close. Promises to be a great second half with the clean and jerk. So now Zielinski for Poland. 167, 171, just 2 kilos. But that would be enough to move him up from bronze to gold. Then he'd just have to wait and see what would happen. But this would almost virtually guarantee him a medal with Shasimov out of the competition and only 2 lifters left alive. So this would be very important. He is in bronze at the moment. So the first error, 173 kilos. That would have been a new personal best, but on another day. So Martirosian of Armenia leads with 172, a kilo ahead of Sergey Lagon. Didn't fix it, didn't get there. And Zielinski of Poland now in 3rd place. But Lu Yong putting the bar up to 175. It's going to come down to Lu Yong versus Tigran Martirosian. On Olympic form, well, quite a difference. Martirosian, total 380 in the Olympics. Lu Yong won the title with 394. So 5 kilos up. Martirosian weighing in at 84.92. Lu Yong at 84.68. So he's got the body weight edge. Steadies, he's all just about. Well, that's a couple of kilos up on his national championship score. Potentially the stronger man in the clean and jerk over Martirosian, but that means that Martirosian, to overtake him, has got to go to 176, which is exactly where the bar is going to go to. Almost got away, and he just managed to hold that together. Very quick, and then stays deep and then drives up. Needs to be under control, and eventually, to the satisfaction of the jury, was. Now Martirosian will be looking to make progress here. Every kilo he can gain on his Chinese opponent will be a valuable one. So 176 to take him into the gold medal position. Now Sergey Lagon of Belarus has dropped into bronze, and now Zielinski off the podium, but still only 4 kilos separating the first 5, 5 kilos separating the first 6 at the moment. So very tight. So this for the lead. So the man from Yerevan's got one more go at this, but so has Lu Yong. And interestingly enough, quite possibly now with just an attempt left each. They're not going to get too far away from the likes of Lagon, Zelinsky and Kuznetsov and Zyrov. And there's a bit of a gap down to Pogosyan of Armenia on 166 kilos. That's the state of play. Those two boxes on the right there, you can see the empty ones. That's what remains in this first half of the 85 kilo championship of the 2009 Worlds. And you can see Enequin down there on 160. That's now 15 kilos off the pace. He is better at the clean and jerk, but that's a massive amount to give away. So Martirosian following himself on 176, leaving Lu Yong to decide what he wants to do. Lu Yong could go for 176 because he's got the lighter body weight. A minute in which to get back out on the stage here for Martirosian. Did 177 in the Olympics. Honed and tuned inevitably for that competition. European champion 2 seasons ago, Tigran Martirosian in Lignano Sabbiadoro. Tends to make 4 or sometimes 5 out of 6 of his attempts, so his percentages are not too bad. But needs this, otherwise he's going to be left on 172. Needs to stay close to Lu Yong. Nine seconds again, very tight. This time it didn't work, and he is left down on 172 kilos. 1 out of 3. Doesn't bode well. And Lu Yong, having now secured the gold medal in the snatch, has a 3 kilo advantage over Martirosian, who remains his closest pursuer. But that looked not to have got nearly high enough to, didn't get under it, and Lu Yong out now for 177. Still 10 kilos short of the Andrei Rybakov snatch world record. But that's not an issue now. This is to enhance his advantage. To go 5 clear. 5 kilos, that is. No, and I had a feeling that might not happen. So, as it stands, top 6 separated by just 5 kilos, all to play for in the second half. But the Olympic champion is leading, looking to make it a 5th success for China here in this week of World Championships in Goyong in Korea. And he leads by 3 from Martirosian, with Sergey Lagon of Belarus in the bronze medal position on 171 kilos. So the 11 contenders going into their 10-minute break. In fact, the 11 reduced to 10 now with the retirement of Mansurbek Shazimov of Uzbekistan. Clearly hurt his back on that first attempt in the snatch phase, but there's the man who leads by 3 kilos ahead of that man, Tigran Martirosian. And then Lahun on 171, Adrian Zelinsky of Poland on 171, then Kuznetsov of Russia, of Kazakhstan I should say, on 170, and Intigam Zyrov of Azerbaijan on 170. So 5 kilos separating the first 5. Randy's back from stage side. Quick word, Randy, before, here we go, just before we go to a break. Confirmation of the state of play, and then you can see after those chaps on the 170 we dropped down to 166, and Hernandez, the man from the B group, there on 162. So everybody below 170 is right up against it. Back after this.
A well-earned rest and a chance to look back at the highlights from the snatch phase of this men's 85 kilograms. Lahun from Belarus, managing to record 171. And in the end, that will be good enough for bronze medal. Nice aggressive attack from this man with the light body weight. And will be feeling very comfortable ahead of the clean and jerk phase. Great lift, very tidy, very quick. Good enough to put the pressure on and knock Zielinski of Poland down into 4th position. So briefly the lead for Lagon. But the big names still to come. Martirosian of Armenia. Younger brother already recording a silver medal in the 77 kilogram phase. Came into this competition very late. 14 phases of weight advancement during the course of this snatch phase. Martirosian looked very good on his first lift, looked very confident, but he did take it right down to the wire. And when he strode on stage at 172, he's previously stated 177, certainly looking a possibility. But there was some concern, and you will have heard David Goldstrom counting the clock down. It built the drama. And he actually went inside the 5 seconds before attempting this lift, kept the coaches on their toes as well as the judges. Man who's coming back to his European Championship form of some 2 seasons ago. And on the basis of that lift, it looked very good indeed. So Martirosian able to put a bit of pressure on the Olympic champion, Lagon. Moved himself into top spot with 172, but that was to be it for Martirosian. Failure, or 2 failures at 176, and he was out. Out of luck anyway in this snatch phase. And that left Martirosian in silver medal position ahead of Lagon. And so we had the drama of Lagon looking for 175, the gold in the snatch phase, and a 3 kilo advantage as it would happen over Martirosian. And this was a dramatic lift. Look at that. Fantastic effort from the champion.